Mehmet Akif Kirreci, Professor of International Relations from the University of Ankara, joins us now. Mehmet, good to see you. Thanks for joining us at 5:30 in the morning, local time here in Istanbul. Appreciate it, but it's that kind of night really when everyone in our field is staying up. What's caught your eye so far this evening?
Well, it's very interesting, a very neck-to-neck race. I think each candidate is pressing a lot, especially on the swing states. And one of the most interesting aspects of this election is that it's not about the policies that much, but about the personalities.
Yeah.
They are emphasizing how evil the other side is. For instance, Kamala Harris constantly emphasizing if Donald Trump is supposed to win, he's going to be a Hitler or something, and versus Trump is emphasizing if Kamala wins, that will be, World War III and so on and so forth.
Communist, lefty,
she's an idiot.
Kind of
she has a low IQ and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting. Why they are doing it is one of the questions I'm trying to answer, is because American people don't go to vote mostly.
Yeah.
Even in the urgency, the cases of urgency in certain elections, you see numbers like 55%. If it's over 50%, they say it's a good
turnout. Even in presidential elections, because the last one was 66%, which wasn't too bad.
Anything over 50% is a good success, whereas in Turkey it's always more than 85%. So I think the turnout of the voters in the ballot box, I think, is going to determine the result of the election. It's not. Another point is that people in the United States do not change their party over one policy issue or another. So it's usually, it comes to the point that who is able to mobilize his base more than any other candidate. So that's why Kamala, for instance, Harris is focusing on educated college graduate women mostly, colored women, and so on and so forth. Whereas Trump is focusing to mobilize non-college educated white men. So it's really, there's also a gender issue. Kamala is focusing on the woman more, whereas Trump is focusing on white men.
Yeah.
And also the notion of urgency, the notion of threat, inside and outside, the candidates are using against each other, all to mobilize their bases. So I think this aspect of the election is missing from much of the debate.
It's toxic, isn't it? It feels really toxic. At some point in the next 2-3 days, maybe even later on Wednesday, one half of America is going to realise that it is going to be very, very upset.
Yes.
It's not just going to be, well, we lost, right, now let's all unite. It's not going to be like that, is it?
Because of this, TRT world is constantly showing the motto that it's a torn country, perhaps because of this debate. And another point which is adding to this fuel between the two groups, Democrats and Republicans, is that the candidates and parties raised an immense amount of money, and they are spending most of that money in the digital campaigning. So it's a new aspect of this also electoral campaign. The election program, I think they are spending a lot of money. They are hoping to create more influence by spending less money because of these, new technological
well, especially the
means.
Republicans, because I read that the Democrats are really the party of big spending when it comes to campaigning. It used to be traditionally the Republicans, but now the Democrats have got a lot of money behind them, which they spend on things like advertising, etc.
Definitely,
and on social media. And they've got and even some Republicans say this, that they've got a much better ground game, going door to door, knocking.
Yes, definitely. Both candidates did that. Kamala's team, only yesterday, they visited 100,000 homes, which is their claim. From door to door in order to mobilize people, go and vote. So this is one of the major issues in American political culture. They don't want to, vote that much. I think it's going to turn out around 60% plus or minus. So we'll see how it's going to turn out. But by looking at the swing states, I can say that it's going to be a very close one. In Virginia, I think Trump is currently leading a little bit. If that trend continues, it's going to be a very tough game for Kamala, even if she wins Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and you're right. Indeed, Donald Trump is leading in Virginia. Mehmet, really good to talk to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Mehmet Akif Kirreci there, Professor of International Relations at the University of Ankara. Stay with us